At the Metro Court pool, Sonny meets with Carly, who is worried about their family's safety given what happened with Marco. Sonny reveals that it was her brother who turned him in to the cops. Michael arrives with Wiley for his swim lesson and greets his parents. He takes Wiley to his lesson, and Carly tells Sonny that she can't believe Lucas went to the cops. Sonny says he wasn't arrested thanks to Marco showing up and making up a story about where he was. He explains he and Sidwell have come to an understanding. Carly asks if that means her family is no longer in danger. Michael appears and would like to know that himself. Michael joins them, and Sonny explains that Sidwell has backed off Measure C, so things are going to improve. Michael still supports Sasha leaving town with Daisy given the danger. Sonny can't help but wonder if his son wasn't injured, if he and Willow could have come to a compromise. However, that couldn't happen given that Drew took advantage of his injury. Carly knows Willow and Drew are getting married today and asks how Michael is handling that. Michael says he knows his and Willow's relationship is over, and he knows he can't trust her around the kids. Michael explains that Willow thinks he's punishing her, and she can't see that he's protecting the kids, as she's so far gone. Marco and Lucas wake up in Marco's bed. Lucas admits he could get used to this, and Marco agrees. They discuss what happened to Marco. Lucas says he was terrified for him, and if he hadn't come back, he'd be much more upset than he should be at this point in their relationship. Marco recalls their first meeting in Miami, and he knew then that he was special and might be his chance at love. He says he won't let anything keep them apart. Lucas says not to take this the wrong way, but he's glad they didn't sleep together that first night. Now they get to see where this goes. Lucas wonders if he needs to check in at work as he's been MIA for a few days. Marco assures him his bosses know not to expect him in. Lucas and Marco head to the pool, but when they spot Sonny, Carly, and Michael, Marco suggests they go back to the room. He doesn't want to be the reason Lucas fights with his family. Lucas says he has to do this for himself and walks towards his family. Sonny starts to walk away when he sees Lucas, saying he has something to attend to. Lucas follows him. Carly speaks to Michael about the day, which she knows will be hard for the kids. She assures him they will be fine. Michael notes Wiley's lesson is almost over, so he has to tell him what's going on with his mom. Lucas speaks with Sonny and sarcastically thanks him for sending him the key, as if he were doing him a favor, given he took Marco to begin with. Sonny tells Lucas that he has no idea what is going on and who the players are. Marco is fine, and next time he's worried about him, don't call the cops. Sonny walks off. Lucas then confronts Carly about Marco's condition and how Sonny told him that he doesn't have a right to be mad, as he doesn't know what's going on. Carly says Sonny is right, and he shouldn't have gone to the police. At the cafe, Kai runs into Trina. He knows she feels he betrayed her, but his feelings for her haven't changed, and he'd give anything for them to go back to what they were. She asks why he's in a suit. He explains he's going to Drew and Willow's wedding. Trina says that's why there is no going back for them. Curtis stops by Portia's office. He got her text that she was staying here last night and asks if she stayed here because of work or because she didn't want to come home. She explains that she wanted to make the most of her time here, as this is likely her last day at GH. She is giving her resignation today. She lets him know that she told Willow about Drew's blackmail, and she has no options left but to resign because it's the only way to leave with her dignity. She asked Trina to come by to explain everything, but Curtis asks her not to resign and give him one more day. Curtis suggests perhaps Drew won't have Willow to fight for much longer. If so, perhaps he wouldn't need to blackmail them. Portia says Drew would just punish them even more if he lost Willow, as that's the kind of person he is. Curtis suggests Willow might back out of the wedding, and perhaps he knows something. He promises to fight for her and save her job, even if it means betraying a friend. Portia isn't following. Curtis says it's a long shot, but if his idea works, Drew may just go to DC and forget all about them. Trina arrives and asks what her parents need to talk to her about. Curtis says her mother was just being overprotective, as they know she broke up with Kai. Portia says she can talk to them anytime she needs about that. Trina admits their timing is perfect as she just ran into Kai. He said he still cares about her, and she believes him, but she's hurt and disappointed. However, she still cares about him too. She says Kai thinks what he did was right, and he refuses to see who Drew really is. Curtis says Kai broke his word to her, and he must realize that sometimes you have to make compromises for the people you care about. On that note, Curtis must run, as there is something he needs to do. Alone, Trina asks her mom what this is really about, and what is her dad going to do. Alexis drops by Drew's. Drew knows she has misgivings about him and Willow, but he assures her that this marriage will be great for Scout. He is positive that Willow will soon regain custody of her kids, and they'll relocate to DC. He promises he won't keep her from Scout, as she's her connection to her mother. Alexis suggests Drew not tell Scout until this move is a done deal, as Scout should get used to Willow before a big move. Drew agrees, but knows Scout loves Willow. Alexis wants him to be happy. She wants Scout to be happy, and she knows he'll always put Scout's happiness above his own. Scout comes out in her dress, and Drew says she looks beautiful and how proud he is of her for welcoming Willow into their family. Scout can't wait for them all to be living here, and for Danny, Rocco, Grandma, and her aunts to visit all the time. Plus, she knows her dad will be happy. They embrace, and Alexis gives Drew a look. Later, Kai arrives with Drew's passport. Drew, now in his suit, is surprising Willow with a honeymoon in France. He thinks everything that's been going on has taken a toll on Willow, and this will be what she needs to forget her troubles. He thinks back to Willow telling him what she did on the 4th. As they discuss love, Kai admits that he and Trina broke up. Drew knows it's because of what he did for him. Kai admits he promised Trina that he wouldn't tell him about her parents' plans, but he couldn't stay quiet as Trina's parents were going to frame him for something he didn't do. At the chapel, Obrecht walks in and runs into Liz. They both admit that Maxie somehow did a great job arranging all this from New York, and Obrecht sucks up her disdain for Liz, only for today. She thinks it's a shame all these beautiful flowers had to be sacrificed for a doomed wedding. In the bridal room, Nina gives Willow something borrowed. A bracelet. Willow thanks her mother for making this day happen and says she owes it all to her. Liz and Obrecht join Nina and Willow in the bride's room. Willow thanks them for being here. Liz takes Willow off to check her bouquet, per Maxie's instructions. Nina tells Obrecht how Willow looks so happy. Obrecht notes it's the same smile she had upon learning Sasha and Daisy had left Port Charles. Obrecht says she's a doctor, and she can't be a party to torturing a baby. Nina reflects on Drew swearing it wasn't him who tormented Daisy, and back to Willow's reaction upon finding out Sasha and Daisy left. She begins to lose it. Scout and Alexis arrive, and everyone praises Scout's dress. Scout also has a present for Willow. Upset, Nina says she's going to step out for a second, as she left a present for Willow in the car. Willow opens the gift, which is a photo of them. Willow loves it and can't wait to be a part of her family. Alexis becomes emotional when Scout asks if Willow wants her to call her mom. Willow tells Scout that she can call her whatever she wants, but her mom will always be her mom, and she'll always be a part of her. They embrace. Obrecht tells Alexis she's sorry about the loss of her daughter, and they are members of a terrible club. Liz thinks it's time for them to leave Willow to get ready. Willow asks them to send her mom in. Liz stays behind to help Willow dress. In the chapel, Ava arrives and finds Nina in tears. She tells her friend to relax, as things might be crazy now, but they will settle down. Nina tells her that things are worse than she thought. Nina tells Ava about the drama with Sasha and Daisy. Ava assumes this has to do with Sonny and his enemies, but Nina admits she fears it was Willow. Nina says Willow knows the estate, knows where the cameras are, and has access to the nursery at the hospital. She could have pulled off all the mysterious happenings surrounding Daisy. Ava thinks it's a stretch. Yes, Willow's made mistakes, but she's famously kind, sweet, and compassionate. Nina tells her about Willow's smile when she learned Sasha left town with Daisy, as if she was thrilled that her plan worked. At the pool, Lucas tells his sister that he never agreed to her code of silence regarding Sonny, and they are divorced, so why is she keeping Sonny's secrets? Is this because of Donna? Carly says in part, yet. Lucas reminds her of all that Sonny's cost her, including Morgan. Carly won't discuss her son's death with him. She tells Lucas to take a look at himself. Since returning, he almost got back with Brad, and now he's jumped into bed with Marco, whom he hardly knows. Carly says the situation is not that cut and dry, and he can't see it because Marco is the first guy he's fallen for since Brad, and that is all he is focused on. She storms off. Sonny visits Marco in his room. Sonny isn't expecting a thank you, and he warns Marco to stay out of his way. In her office, Portia tells Trina that she doesn't know what Curtis has to do, but she and her father feel terrible about what happened with Kai. Going forward, she needs to do what is best for her, not what she thinks her parents want her to do. Their problems shouldn't be her problems. She also reminds her people are flawed and fail to live up to the expectations of others, including herself. Back at the pool, Michael tells Wiley that today, his mommy is marrying Uncle Drew. Wiley lashes out that he doesn't want that. He wants his mommy to be married to his daddy. Michael knows he's upset, but his mom will always love him, and so will he. They embrace. At Drew's, Kai tells Drew he will see him at the church, but he wishes him and Willow luck. He knows they've been through a lot. Drew thinks that will make this day all the sweeter. In the chapel, Nina tells Ava that she's been blind regarding Willow for far too long, and Drew has done this to her daughter. She can no longer stand by and let this go on any longer, and she's finally done. Nina storms out. Curtis walks into the room where Willow is getting ready. She says he can't be here, and if this is about Drew blackmailing Portia, he cuts her off and tells her that last summer, while she was falling in love with Drew, both before and after the 4th of July, her mother and Drew were sleeping with one another. On the next General Hospital, Sonny warns Marco he won't have a problem if he stays out of his father's business. Sidwell tells Lucy it's all about peaceful coexistence. At the pool, Molly tells Cody, "I guess I managed to surprise you." Also there, Christina says, "This is exactly what I was afraid of." At the church, Drew tells Scout that they are all going to live happily ever after. Willow asks Nina, "Did you and Drew have an affair?" Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Here is your General Hospital spoiler sneak peek video for Friday, July 25th, 2025. Sonny and Sidwell seem to want to find a peaceful coexistence as the criminals of Port Charles. Or, at least that is what Sidwell tells Lucy. After the ordeal with Marco, Sidwell hopes he and Sonny can come to a mutual understanding. Sonny tries to come to just that with Marco. He tells Sidwell's son that he doesn't want to hurt him, and he won't. As long as he stays out of his father's business, will Marco take this conversation back to a very angry Lucas? While Drew tells Scout that he's going to marry Willow and they're all going to live happily ever after, the drama taking place in the bride's room might change that prediction. Willow is on a tear with Nina after Curtis dropped a bombshell before Nina had a chance to. Nina was ready to stop this wedding once and for all, but Curtis got to Willow first and told her that Drew and Nina had slept together. Now, a hysterical Willow confronts her mother and asks her if she and Drew had an affair. Well, since Drew and Nina were two consenting, unmarried, and unattached adults, they actually did not have an affair. They had a relationship while Willow was still married to Michael. Will Nina admit to sleeping with Drew before she ever knew that Drew and Willow were falling for one another? She seemed about to tell her anyway, so she may as well rip the Band-Aid and get it all out there. Christina sees that there is one part of her plan she wasn't fully prepared for. When she spots Molly and Cody flirting at the Metro Court pool, she realizes this could be a problem. She needs Cody to seduce Ava, but if he and Molly have a thing for one another, that could be easier said than done. Plus, she could end up hurting Molly. How will Christina handle this curveball? General Hospital spoilers hint that Willow Tate might shoot Drew Kane at the wedding and end this wild ceremony with a bang. Curtis Ashford just delivered quite a shocker, so fans are eager to see if it might push Willow over the edge. The July 24th episode brought Curtis's revelation that Drew and Nina Reeves were sleeping together while Willow was falling in love. Curtis explained that Drew was sizzling with Willow's mom last summer, both before and after the 4th of July. Of course, Willow won't just take Curtis's word for it. Since Nina will return to the bridal prep area soon, Willow will have a chance to grill her mother about whether she had an affair with Drew. Nina will have no choice but to come clean about those passionate Drew moments, so Willow is sure to be devastated. Drew and Nina have been hiding this news for over a year, so Willow's going to feel like a fool by the time the wedding's set to begin. Based on the show's weekly preview video, it looks like the nuptials will press on anyway. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Willow will say, "I do" to Drew after finding out about this betrayal. There's been a lot of talk about Willow's disturbing behavior, especially now that Drew and Nina have separately figured out she must have stalked Daisy Gilmore and messed with Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Liesl Obrecht also pointed out there was something very wrong with Nina's daughter, so GH writers are showing plenty of cracks in Willow's mental stability. Finding out about Drew and Nina's hookups could be what pushes Willow to her breaking point. With that in mind, we certainly wouldn't put it past Willow to get her hands on a gun and shoot Drew instead of tying the knot. Willow might feel like she blew up her life for a man who didn't deserve it and lose all control. All the pain and rage Willow's feeling, particularly over the custody loss of her children, could explode in a powerful moment of pulling the trigger on Drew. General Hospital spoilers tease that fans are wildly rooting for a reunion between Jason Morgan and Britt Westbourne. They made magic together before both were dead, and voila, now that they're both alive, wouldn't they be great together? Soap fans, if you know, you know. Thiebaud confirmed to TV Insider that she is indeed portraying her past character. In the July 23 EP, Jason and Carly Spencer surmised that Liesl Obrecht being back in town is not a coincidence to Jason spotting a woman who looked exactly like Britt. With all of this in mind, let's explore the top 3 reasons that Bazin need to reunite. First off, Jason has seen a side of Britt that no one else has, and thus believes in her. Even after all of these years, he defends her. This type of mentality could bring about a us-against-the-world romance for Jason and Britt, as they strengthen their bond while fighting against the narrow-minded people of PC. Jason has been alone for a long time, even when he was dead. So, basically, it's only natural that fans want to see him paired off and happy. Who else but Britt could make Jason happy? Sure, she'd bring the drama, but not the level of angst that Carly does. Plus, Britt is a professional who lives for something greater than meddling in people's lives. As we mentioned above, Britt is not perfect, but she's a good match for Stone Cold, having a similar philosophy about life, an eye for an eye. She also has a soft side, which she has shown to Jason, which is why he loves her so much. Jason is also a dark figure, but with a heart of gold. In other words, Britt can handle Jason and his mob life. Some fans have even speculated that she left pregnant with Jason's baby, which has some timing complications, but this is a soap, so anything is possible. Ever since it was announced that Kelly Thiebaud would be returning to General Hospital, viewers have eagerly been waiting to hear who she will be playing. Well, fans, the wait is finally over. TV Insider has confirmed that the ABC soap fave will in fact be reprising her role as Britt. Thiebaud is over the moon to be bringing back the character she's loved playing since 2012. And even though this will mark the show's latest Return from the Dead storyline, we can't wait to see how this particular Dr. Emma unfolds. Viewers will recall that Britt passed away in her mother's arms in January 2023. However, it hadn't been Huntington's disease that ended her life. She'd been a victim of the Hook killer, who had been later revealed to be Heather. So, where has Britt been all this time? Jason recently spotted a woman who looked like Britt in an airport in Europe, and just wait until he finds out his former lover is alive. And if Thiebaud has anything to say about it, Steve Burton's character may finally get a love interest. As far as story goes, obviously, I want Britt and Jason to get back together, she shared with the outlet. And when it comes to Rocco, who has become very curious about the woman who gave birth to him, the actress hopes that they'll get to share scenes together as well, and teased, "That's going to be exciting for sure." While we wait for her big return to Port Charles, take a look at a few ideas we have as to how Britt came make a comeback. If you have any, please share them with us in the comment section. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease Carly Spencer may soon be on the warpath the shocking moment that she learns her daughter's big secret. It's only a matter of time before she discovers that Jocelyn Jax is a WSB spy, and Carly's boyfriend, Jack Brennan, is the one who recruited her. Unbeknownst to her mother, Jocelyn has taken on the role of a spy. How will Carly react when she finds this out? Her own boyfriend, Jack Brennan, was the one who brought her into the WSB after the murder of Dex Heller. She is no longer merely a college student. She is now working undercover alongside her handler, Vaughn, to investigate the true intentions of Professor Henry Dalton. The journey to Easter Island served as a facade for her WSB training. The very trip that Jason Morgan was suspicious about from the very beginning. For that matter, Jason was suspicious about Brennan from the very beginning. He's warned Carly many times not to trust him. Anna has already uncovered this information and has shared it with Dante. Carly, however, is preoccupied with different matters, specifically her relationship with Brennan. She has deeply fallen for the WSB bureau chief, yet she remains unaware of his true intentions. Additionally, Carly has been occupied with the custody dispute over Michael Corinthos' children with Willow Tate. She's also been distracted with the recent departure of Sasha Corbin, who left town with her newborn grandchild, Daisy Gilmore. Although her attention has been elsewhere, particularly away from Joss, that is set to change. Carly has a fiery temper, and it will flare up when the truth is revealed. Mother and daughter have always shared a close bond, so Carly will feel betrayed. More importantly, she will be anxious about her daughter's safety. Joss could easily be injured or even killed while working as an agent. Then there's Brennan. How will the owner of MetroCourt react when she discovers that he secretly recruited her daughter? Her response will not be pleasant. She will feel betrayed by the man she loves, and there may be no way to repair that relationship. Carly might decide to end things with him for good. The truth could emerge sooner than expected. Let's hope nothing happens to Joss. Because if it does, Brennan had better be careful because Carly will be seeking revenge. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease a mystery man was spotted, both on the plane home next to Jason Morgan and at the MetroCourt pool. There, it seemed the same man was keeping a close eye on Rocco Falconeri. Might he be connected to Britt Westbourne? With the confirmation of Kelly Thibaud's return as Britt on General Hospital, it's only natural for devoted soap fans to start piecing things together. They are eager to understand the how, the why, and who supported her during this time. The first signs of curiosity arose when a passenger sitting next to Jason on the plane was prominently shown earlier this week. After ensuring that Sasha Corbin and Daisy Gilmore arrived safely at Robert Scorpio's, Jason was on his way home, sitting in the airport, when he noticed someone he believed to be Britt. Carly Spencer attempted to dissuade Jason from believing that Britt might still be alive, suggesting that Rocco's inquiries about her were likely keeping her fresh in his thoughts. While they were conversing, the same man was present behind them. But it was only when Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer confronted Liesl Obrecht that the man began closely observing the unfolding drama involving the four of them. Could he be connected to Britt's return, acting as a spy for her regarding the two people she cares about, Jason and Rocco? When GH fans were first introduced to Dr. Britt Westbourne, she came across as confident, clever, and unapologetically scheming, quickly earning her the nickname The Britch. However, over time, Britt transformed into one of the soap's most intriguing characters. She combined elements of villainy, vulnerability, and surprising warmth. Portrayed by the charming Thibaud, Britt's story in Port Charles has been far from dull, and her recent comeback has fans excited once more. Debuting in 2012 as a doctor at General Hospital, Britt made a strong impression right away. She began her journey on unstable footing, romantically pursuing Dr. Patrick Drake. She used his young daughter, Emma Scorpio Drake, to get closer to him. When that failed, Britt intensified her efforts. She pretended to be pregnant and claimed another woman's baby as her own. And she hid the fact that the child, Rocco, was actually Dante and Lulu's son, not hers and Patrick's. Britt's darker tendencies didn't arise from nowhere. She was the child of two infamous figures in GH history, Dr. Liesl Obrecht and the evil Cesar Faison. Growing up with parents who were experts in deceit, manipulation, and fear influenced Britt's cold, calculating early character. However, even during her worst moments, fans saw hints of the pain behind her actions. And Thiebaud's portrayal showed that Britt was more than just a flat villain. One of the most surprising and cherished aspects of Britt's journey was her friendship with Brad Cooper. The two misfits formed a genuine bond, sharing secrets, loyalty, and humor. Brad was the only person who embraced Britt for who she was, which helped set the stage for her redemption story. After leaving town in shame, Britt made a few short visits, but it wasn't until her longer return in 2020 that her transformation truly started. With time away and a fresh outlook, Britt came back to Port Charles as Chief of Staff and aimed to lead with greater integrity. She built new relationships, especially with Jason, who recognized the softer side beneath her tough exterior. Their romance revealed a gentler side of Britt, one capable of profound love and selflessness. In a tragic turn of events, Britt disclosed that she had inherited the gene for Huntington's disease, a fatal condition with no known cure. Instead of shying away from it, she opted to embrace life on her own terms. This heartbreaking diagnosis added emotional weight to her narrative and instilled a sense of urgency that influenced many of her decisions. Thiebaud gave compelling performances during this time, showcasing Britt's resilience, even as her time dwindled. In a shocking twist, Britt was killed off in early 2023 after being stabbed by the hook. She was poked by the end of the hook while rescuing Jocelyn Jacks. Her death left fans in shock, particularly considering how much she had overcome. The emotional moments shared between Britt and her mother Liesl, along with her goodbye to her friends, were some of the most heart-wrenching of the year. It felt like Britt's story had come to an end. Until now, she has recently returned from the dead, but viewers are still unaware of the details regarding her absence. Did Obrecht truly think her daughter was dead? Or was she secretly caring for her all along? Her sorrow when Britt was killed was intense, but perhaps at that time, she thought Britt was really gone. General Hospital fans are searching for a new couple they can root for. Many are hoping for an Elizabeth and Isaiah pairing. This could be interesting. Fans are not happy about where the writers have taken Isaiah, probably because they have taken him nowhere. He came to Port Charles with such potential, but is now nothing but a sounding board for the women at the hospital. Then there is Elizabeth, who has not had a decent love story since they killed off Franco. Lucky's return got our hopes up, but that fell completely flat, and now he is gone. Could there be chemistry between these two? Definitely. They are both attractive, caring, and have many of the same values. It's easy to see how they might get together. Of course, Lucky is Liz's ex as well as Isaiah's best friend, which leads to complications. But what is a good love story without drama? This would create a will they or won't they situation, feeling bad about Lucky, etc. It could be the build-up for them to finally get together. GH needs a new chief of staff. Terry is great, but has fallen off the face of the earth. Portia is a disaster. First, she switched blood test results. Now she has become Drew's minion and is so wrapped up in her own trouble that she cannot do her job well. Isaiah would be the perfect person to fill the role. He is confident, smart, and a great doctor. Liz is already the head nurse. With both of them in leadership roles, they could get the hospital in tip-top shape. Elizabeth and Isaiah can become a GH power couple, like her grandma Audrey and Steve Hardy, or Monica and Alan Quartermain. General Hospital spoilers tease. Port Charles is still reeling, and last week, Sasha Gilmore Corbin's emotional departure with her daughter, Daisy Corinthos Gilmore, had fans wiping away tears. Fleeing to keep Daisy safe after a terrifying ordeal, Sasha's joined her parents, Robert Scorpio and Holly Sutton, abroad, leaving her future uncertain. With Sophia Matson stepping away from the show, whispers are swirling that we might see Sasha again, maybe with a new face. Could a hidden tie to her father's WSB past spark a dramatic return? Sasha's strength has carried her through heartbreak, from losing her son to battling drug addiction to grieving her husband's death to fighting danger in Port Charles. Her choice to protect Daisy by leaving town with her parents, Robert and Holly, hit hard, especially after she confided her fears to Michael Corinthos and Jason Morgan. Only they know her exact whereabouts, but fans are buzzing with hope that Sasha's story isn't over. With Sophia Mattsson exiting, rumors of a recast are gaining steam, hinting her father's WSB history could pull her back into the fray. For now, Port Charles feels her absence like a punch to the gut. Sasha'S departure lingers over the fans. Many are reflecting on her tearful farewell, with Nina Reeves's promise that she'll always have a home with her echoing in fans' minds. Mattson's exit has sparked chatter that Sasha could return, possibly with a new actress, as her story feels unfinished. Could Robert's WSB past stir trouble abroad, forcing Sasha back? Will Jen's Sidwell or even Willow Corinthos take their anger and resentment out on the newest Corinthos and her mommy? Fans are hopeful for a comeback, and soon. Fans are struggling with Sasha's absence. The buzz of her return grows louder. Mattson's heartfelt exit has fans rooting for a recast to bring Sasha and Daisy back, but they also fear some kind of chaos could snuff them both out, permanently. Sonny's battles with Sidwell could ripple to Sasha's hideout, threatening her safety. For now, Jason and Michael's secrecy protects her, but Willow's desire for vengeance and Drew's knack for drama could change that. Stay tuned to see if Sasha's story picks up with a new face, or if Portchuck waits in vain. What do you think, fans? Will Sasha return? And who should play her? Share your thoughts below in the comments, and keep checking back for more GH news and spoilers. Michael Gregory, who originated the role of Dr. Rick Weber on General Hospital, checked out of the ABC soap opera in 1979, smack in the middle of the David Hamilton drama. He went on to appear regularly in films and primetime TV, often cast as the handsome but dangerous Heavy. Gregory is remembering when he played a bad guy who ran afoul of guest star Hulk Hogan on the A-Team. Saddened to hear about the passing of Hulk Hogan, Gregory wrote on Facebook, referring to the larger-than-life wrestler-turned-actor. Hogan passed away on July 24th after suffering a cardiac attack. I got to work with him on the A-Team back in 1985 in the Body Slam episode. Despite his professional tough guy image, Hulk was a soft-spoken, nice, and caring man. The script called for Hogan to throw Gregory's character, Sonny Carter, and his henchmen, including the wonderful actor Sam Melville. Inevitably, the bad guys got their comeuppance. The A-Team was big on stunts, so it's not surprising that Hogan asked his co-star if he could get physical with him. Gregory recalls Hogan kindly asking him if he was okay with getting picked up and thrown into the popcorn machines as the script called for Hulk and the A-Team regulars to take down the bad guys. My reaction, "Just be kind, Hulkster," Gregory responded. "Rest in peace, Hulkster. Rest in peace." Hogan appeared on Search for Tomorrow in 1985 as himself. The entertainer's other credits include The Love Boat, Goldie and the Bears, the all-new Mickey Mouse Club, Gremlins 2, The New Batch, Voyagers, Thunder in Paradise, Baywatch, Spy Hard, Muppets from Space, and numerous wrestling programs. Gregory isn't the only connection between GH and the A-Team. Actress Tia Carrere was set to join the show as a series regular in Season 5. Alas, the actress was still under contract at GH, the show on which she played the part of Jade. As a result, her character was dropped from the show. General Hospital spoilers update for Friday, July 25th reveals that Drew Kane will make a happily ever after promise to Scout Kane while Nina Reeves scrambles to explain her actions. Michael Corinthos will also open up about a difficult truth, so here's what viewers can expect. At the Metro Court pool, Molly Lansing Davis will flirt with Cody Bell. But his Ava Jerome seduction efforts could get in the way of their future together. Christina Corinthos Davis will have some concerns about Cody's growing fondness for Ava, and perhaps the potential for him to hurt Molly too. As for Michael, he'll need someone to lean on in Friday's show. Michael will open up to Christina about what's in his heart, so he may share the void he's feeling now that Sasha Gilmore Corbin and Daisy Gilmore are gone. Of course, Michael will also address the fact that Drew and Willow Tate's wedding is happening. Since Wiley Corinthos had a negative reaction to the news, Michael may give Christina updates on that and get some comfort. Over with Drew, he'll make a promise to Scout about the blissful family they're forming. Drew will vow that they're all going to live happily ever after and leave Scout even more excited about the nuptials. Lucy Coe is set to serve as the wedding officiant, so she may push Jen Sidwell to attend with her. We know Lucy will extend an invitation on Friday's show, but Sidwell may politely decline since he's still recovering from Marco Rios' kidnapping drama. Now that Marco is safe, Sidwell will pretend he wants to concentrate on coexisting peacefully with Sonny Corinthos. In reality, Sidwell will just want to figure out the right time to seek revenge and the right tactic to use. As for Sonny, he'll deliver a warning to Marco. Although Marco may worry he could face another abduction, or worse, Sonny will push him to just stay out of Sidwell's business if he wants to stay protected. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer and Lucas Jones will face off again. Lucas will have more complaints about Sonny, but Carly will push him to stop obsessing over Marco when he barely even knows him. Back at the wedding, Ava Jerome will seem anxious over what's happening with Nina and Willow. Since Nina just took off on a mission to stop all this Drew madness, Ava will wonder what's going to happen next. GH fans know Curtis Ashford just barged in the bridal preparation room and blew the lid off Nina's affair with Drew last summer. Now that Willow knows the hot secret Drew and Nina have been keeping, she'll speak with Nina privately and push for an admission. Nina will rush to explain that what happened with Drew was a mistake and wasn't meant to hurt Willow. Although Nina tried to distract Drew and keep him from reeling Willow in, it all snowballed and became something she couldn't reveal without destroying their fragile bond. Nina will blame Drew for pretending to be the perfect man when he isn't, and she may urge Willow to confess something as well. Now that Nina's put it together that Willow was Daisy's stalker, she may push her daughter to confirm it. Nina won't think Willow's the same person since Drew led her astray, so she'll highlight that on Friday's episode. Willow will struggle as she listens to Nina's version of events and overall perspective on Drew. The wedding will officially kick off soon, but will Willow go through with her marriage vows or blast Drew and become a runaway bride? Conspiracies are secretly brewing in the General Hospital storyline as new characters join the upcoming massive mob clash. In the wake of Marco Rios' rescue and a fake statement, the lawyer seems to have joined the war. Meanwhile, Liesl Obrecht's arrival in town is ruffling many feathers. Elsewhere, Congressman Drew Cain is preparing for his wedding. The spoiler video by the YouTube channel General Hospital Preview lays the groundwork for the upcoming drama. The teaser shows Kai expressing his regret. He is likely trying to apologize and patch up with Trina. Meanwhile, Nina is opening up to her friend Ava and blurts out, "This may be about the change in Willow's attitude." Elsewhere, Alexis sits down with Drew. She has something to say to the congressman. Alexis may be worried about Scout's well-being after Drew marries Willow. Other story arcs on the long-running ABC soap on July 24, 2025, include Carly having a straight talk with Sonny, Scout's query for Willow, and Portia's directive for her husband. The General Hospital spoiler video opens with Carly challenging the town's mob boss. She asks Sonny whether her family can live safely now that Sonny has taken action against his enemies. This may be after Sonny informs her about Sidwell's withdrawal from Measure C and other political events in town. The next General Hospital scene shows Kai facing Trina as the former sportsman expresses his regret over ruining their romance. He will want to woo Trina after their breakup till she accepts him back. However, Trina may stay loyal to her family and refuse to forgive him. The following scene shows Nina and Ava discussing current scenarios. While Ava looks shocked at Nina's disclosure, the latter laments that the situation has turned very bad. She may be alluding to Willow's changed psyche after her recent chat with Portia on Wednesday, July 23, 2025. Elsewhere, Alexis is seen visiting Drew to ask for a favor, as the congressman is getting married to Willow. Alexis may ask Scout to temporarily stay with her. She may wish to hold on to Sam's memory and help Scout navigate the new relationship. Meanwhile, Scout may want to know her role in the new family arrangement. As such, she is seen clearing things with Willow as she asks whether Willow will need to be addressed as her mother. Willow will likely assure Scout that Sam will always stay the latter's mother. The closing frame of the GH spoiler video shows an agitated Portia facing her husband. She asks him to play his card against Drew right away. On one hand, Portia's career and life are on the line after she plans to openly revolt against the congressman. On the other hand, Curtis may have a difficult choice before him. He wants to help his wife, but that would entail betraying Nina's secret. Whether it is Curtis or Nina herself who exposes her affair with Drew remains to be seen. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!